All right, let's just dive right in. That first month with a new baby, wow, it can feel like this total whirlwind, right? So much joy, but also a lot of questions. Maybe even a little bit of panic. And you know what? That is completely 100% normal. So what we've done here is we've pulled together the absolute essentials into a simple toolkit just to help you feel a bit more confident as you navigate these first few weeks.
Okay, so we've broken this down into 4 main parts to keep it super clear. We're going to kick things off with first feeds. Then we'll get into keeping your baby safe and sound. After that, we'll cover all the daily care stuff, and we'll wrap up with the really fun part, growing together. Think of it as your roadmap for this first incredible month.
So first up, feeding. I mean, this is one of the very first things you'll do, and it's so fundamental. It's really where you're building the entire foundation for your baby's growth and health, right from the get-go.
Okay, so you hear it all the time, right? Breast is best. But why? Well, the source material we're looking at lays out 10 really solid reasons why breastfeeding is so highly recommended. It really makes the case that it's the best possible food for your baby.
Now, we're not going to go through all 10, but let's just pull out some of the big ones. For your baby, we're talking about protection. Breast milk is packed with these natural defenses that help fight off things like colds, ear infections, you name it. But it's not just about the baby. For you, for the mother, it can actually reduce your risk of breast cancer and even help with postpartum recovery. And it goes even deeper than just physical health, right? It's about that incredible emotional bond, and it even gives your baby's brain a boost.
One thing to remember is that breastfeeding is a skill. It's something both you and your baby are learning to do together, so be patient with yourselves. The key is to try and start early and really learn to watch for their little cues. You know, when they start opening their mouth or sucking on their hands, that's your signal. You want to catch it before they start crying. The idea is to feed on demand, let them lead the way, and just focus on finding a comfy position so you can get a really good latch.
Okay, but what about formula? It's really helpful to see how they stack up. So breast milk has those natural antibodies that formula just doesn't. And your body is amazing. It actually ramps up production based on your baby's needs. On the flip side, with formula, you control the quantity. And here's the really important part. All infant formulas on the market are safe. There isn't one brand that's magically better than the others. The whole point is for you to have the info to make the best choice for your family, whatever that may be.
So if you are going with formula, getting the prep right is all about safety. And this is super important, the concentration. You have to measure the water first before you add the powder. The standard is 30 cubic centimeters of water for every single level scoop of formula. And for warming it up, please never use a microwave. It creates these invisible hot spots that can seriously burn your baby's mouth. The best and safest way is just to use a water bath. Basically, just stick the bottle in a bowl of warm water until it gets to about body temperature.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about creating a safe little haven for your baby. This next part is all about sleep and safety. And let's be real, these two things can cause a ton of anxiety for new parents. So our goal here is just to give you some peace of mind.
First things first, let's just manage some expectations around sleep. I know it can feel like you are never ever going to sleep again, but your newborn is actually sleeping a ton, like 16 to 18 hours a day. The catch? It's all in these short little bursts. So all those nighttime wakings for feeds, just remember, that's not just normal, it's actually exactly what they're supposed to be doing. It's how they grow.
Okay, and now for a topic that is just critically important. We're talking about reducing the risk of SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. And the safety rules here are super clear and non-negotiable. Number 1, always put your baby to sleep on their back. The mattress needs to be firm with nothing else in there. I mean it. No pillows, no bumpers, no blankets. And of course, a smoke-free environment is absolutely essential. Now, some families choose to co-sleep, and if that's you, following the safety rules is just as vital. You'll notice the core principles are exactly the same. The baby still needs to be on their back, on a firm mattress, and kept far away from any heavy blankets or pillows. And this is the big one. The parent in the bed must not have had any alcohol, drugs, or sleeping pills, anything at all that could make them less aware.
That part is absolutely non-negotiable.
And what about safety on the go? Car safety starts with that very first ride home from the hospital. So you'll see here a couple of the approved systems for newborns. There's what's called a Group 0, which is kind of like a bassinet that can lie sideways in the back seat. But what's more common is the Group 0 Plus infant carrier. And that one must always be installed rear-facing. Honestly, that's the golden rule no matter what system you have. Keep them rear-facing for as long as you possibly can.
Okay, let's move on to the day-to-day stuff, the daily care and hygiene. And you know, setting up a little routine around this stuff isn't just about keeping clean. It's actually really comforting for your baby, and for you too.
So here are the basics. For that little umbilical cord stump, your only job is to keep it clean and dry. It'll fall off all on its own. For baths, think short and sweet. Brief, gentle, a little bit of neutral soap is all you need. And for diaper changes, plain old water is great. And just remember that one simple rule. Always clean from front to back. Super important for preventing infections.
Okay, there's one supplement you're definitely going to hear about, and that's vitamin D. So what's the deal with it? Well, it's absolutely crucial for helping your baby's body use the calcium from their milk to build strong bones. And since babies can't just hang out in the sun to make it themselves, they need a little help from a supplement.
So how much is enough? The guidance is super simple and specific. 6 drops. Just 6 drops of vitamin D every single day for all breastfed babies, and even for most formula-fed babies too. It's such a tiny, easy thing to do, but it makes a massive difference for their health down the road.
Okay, we've gone through all the practical stuff. The feeding, the sleeping, the bathing. But now we get to what is honestly the best part. It's all about the connection you're building together. This is where you realize that you are your baby's most important, well, everything. So I want you to think about this for a second. In this brand new world filled with all these sights and sounds, what do you think is the single most interesting thing to your baby? Is it a flashy toy? A colorful mobile hanging over the crib?
Nope. The answer is so simple. It's you. Your voice. That's their favorite song. Your face is the most fascinating thing they've ever seen. Even the gentle rhythmic sound of your breathing and your heartbeat. That's the most comforting thing in their entire world.
And this, right here, should feel so empowering. You really don't need a nursery overflowing with expensive gadgets. All the stimulation, everything your baby needs for their brain to grow and develop, it all comes from you. From being held, from hearing your voice, from simply being loved by you.
And let's just bust a huge myth right here and now. So many people worry about spoiling a newborn. Let me be clear. You cannot spoil a baby by holding them. In fact, it's the opposite. The single best way to calm a crying baby is to hold them in your arms. A cry isn't manipulation, it's communication. And when you answer that call, you're not creating a bad habit. You're building a foundation of trust and security.
So, we're going to leave you with this one last thought. You already have everything your baby needs. You don't need to go out and buy it. Your presence, your touch, your voice, those are the most powerful tools you have. So the only question left is, knowing all this, how are you going to connect with your baby today?